Hi all, welcome to the channel, welcome to the workshop. We now have the next 4 stages of build kit from Knight Rider. We're going to be starting with the passenger seat today, finishing off with starting the rear seats. So let's get building. Right, so kicking off this with issue 59, we're just going to be doing the seat base in this one. Right, so as we did before, we're just going to be putting this bit of sponge just in there. And then we're getting our base and we're slotting it so it sits under these tabs. Just like that. And then we're going to be using the DP screws to hold it in place. So we're just using the DP screws here, and you don't want to push on them, you want the screw to just pull itself in, because you're going against something soft. You'll just end up pushing the plastic away from you. And that's the last one just going in there. And that's stage 59 complete. Right, so just moving on to issue 60, and we're going to be continuing the base of the seat. We'll start off by getting these two parts, and we're just going to slot those together, just like that. And then, as we did on the driver's seat, we're going to be putting them so they go into these slot and hole respectively, just like that. And then we're going to be securing that with a BP screw. Just like that. Right, so the next thing we're going to be doing is taking our carriage and placing it underneath the seat base in that direction. So we've got the longer prongs towards the back, and we're going to be securing that with 2 DM screws in there. And because they are going into metal, I am just going to pop them into a little bit of oil just to make sure that they go in smoothly. And again, just backing it out just so that it can cut its thread and get rid of the swarf inside. And exact same thing with this one. Just like that. And then it looks to be exactly the same as the driver's seat, where it's extremely loose. So when it comes to securing it to the bottom of this seat, which is what we're doing next, I'm going to use the high density foam that I did last time. If you've got some plastic washers, or I saw someone use a bit of a plastic milk carton, it will all work the same way. As long as you can put a bit of resistance in that seat, it will stop flapping around like that. So I'm just going to put the high density foam in there, and then I'm going to compress that. Obviously that's where the screws are going to sit. You want to make sure, if you do this technique, avoid putting anything over these holes here, because that's where the screws are going to be going through to hold this in place. So I'm just going to squash that together and use some BP screws to get that secured. And that's the last one going in just there, just ensuring that that is all nice and sat down properly. So we've got the seat there, and as you can see, that foam just adds just enough resistance that the seat is not going to flap around. So whichever technique you use, washers, rubber, foam or milk carton. Just needs something that stops that from flapping around. Right, moving on to issue 61. And we're going to be building at the back of the seat and attaching it to the base unit. So first thing we want to do is get our little bit of foam again, push that in there, get the back part and get it under these tabs and sandwich that together just like that. Now we are using two different types of screws for the back of this. We have two MP screws, which goes here and here, and then the rest will be LP screws. And again, just let these ones sort of walk themselves in. You don't want to tighten them too much, there's just to hold the cover in place because you're only going into this rubberized material. Then we need the LP screws, which are these flanged type screws, and they're just going to go into the tabs here. That's looking just like that. Next we're going to be getting the base of the seat and we're going to be placing that together, and we're going to be using a BP screw through that hole just there to secure it in place. And then we're going to continue building up the back using the back piece just like that. We're going to put two BP screws in there, one in there and one in there, and then we're going to be placing this back cover on just using the two lugs. That's just pushed in there just like that, and then we're going to finish off the seat mechanism with this one. So we've got three holes here. We've got a longer tab, a smaller tab, and we've also got a hole. So the longer tab is going to go into the base, with the smaller one going into the back, just like that. We are just going to secure that in place with another BP screw through there. And the finishing touch for the seat is the little PMD badge, just like that. Now the next bit we need to do is we need to bring the base of the car over the floor pan, and we're going to be attaching this into the car. So here's the floor pan, and we're just going to be lining up these four lugs with the four holes on the bottom. Just like so. We're going to be turning it over, and then we're going to be using the GM screws to put two holes, two screws in those two holes there. And again, just popping that into oil, just to make it a little bit easier to screw in. So that is now what that is looking like with the two seats in. Okay, and finally for this build pack we have issue 62, and we're just going to be concentrating on one of the rear seats. There's not many bits to this. We've got this, again, rubberized seat, and we're going to be placing a little bit of foam just in there, and then we've got this plastics part that again needs to slot under these tabs, just like so. and then we're going to be using the DP screws to secure that in place. Just like that. Now you can see this the left side, so we're going to be placing that now into the left side of the car. So there's a screw hole, a locating pin, and we're going to obviously just be lining those up with the locating pin and screw hole just there. Turning that over and using a BP screw, secure that in place. So that is now looking just like that. Looking absolutely fantastic. And that is all there is to do in this stage. Okay, so that's now kit done for this build pack. Looking absolutely brilliant. Certainly with the 2 seats now in there, the interior is really coming together. Now, I do have another project waiting in the wings, so if you want to see that one or how KITT progresses any further or anything else that goes on in the workshop, please remember to hit that subscribe button and ding that bell. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.